Welcome to the Canoga Park Youth Arts Center's new series, The Art of Nature, where each class we're going to investigate a different way that the beauty of nature can be made through art and appreciated through art. Today, we're going to the desert. Now, I recently went to the desert again, and it's so quiet and so peaceful. And Georgia O'Keeffe also saw the beauty of the desert. We're going to learn how to draw cactus. I got two kinds for you here. The Sonora cactus, that's the kind you might be used to seeing, and the prickly pear cactus that makes fruit. And clouds. I'm going to show you the right way to do clouds. So it's cactus and clouds today. Let's take a look at some pictures of those things. Here we have a beautiful example of those tall Sonora cactus. Now when the rain comes, they kind of expand, and those ridges allow the cactus to expand and take in every drop of water they can to last them throughout the dry period. And you can see the background there of all the red rocks. Here we have an example of where it's on the flats. And here, do you see the ridges in there? So when the rain comes and it hits that cactus, the cactus has room to, like an accordion, to like expand and hold that water inside of himself so it can survive the dry months of summer. This is an example of a prickly pear cactus. Now it kind of has these weird little teardrop shaped things that grow on top of each other, and these are the flowers that turn into fruit. Now I mentioned it's about clouds too. Let's go back up here and look at these clouds. Do you see how those clouds are flat on the bottom? With only a few exceptions, look here. Clouds will be flat on the bottom and then poofy on the top, and there's a reason for this. The earth is generating heat, and the heat is rising. And when the heat hits the cloud, it flattens out the bottom of the cloud. But the top has no restrictions, so the top is all puffy still. Let's look at these clouds down here. It's really dramatic here. Look, flat, flat, poofy, poofy. And do you see gray? I see gray. Now, I know a lot of kids, and I don't know the reason for this, will draw their clouds blue. I think it's because they don't want to draw a white cloud on a white sheet of paper, and they're not remembering that you're going to be painting that sky. But yes, clouds are white, and they have structure, and I'm going to show you how we can use gray to build the structure of the cloud. Let's look at this one. This is this beautiful, look at that horizon line. We're going to be making a horizon line like that on ours too. Flat on the bottom, towering on the top, because all the Earth's heat is radiating up and squishing that up so it's flat. Let's take another look at my desert landscape, because you know landscape is a picture of anything outside. I gave it a very low horizon line. Sometimes with a low horizon line, it can feel like a big amount of space, and when you're in the desert, it feels like it's really big. Here's my cactus, and I drew this with oil pastels. First I drew with pencil, and then I went back in with my oil pastels. And here's my little pointy things coming off my Sonora cactus. Now, look at these cactuses. This guy is smaller, and this guy is smaller still. This is not a baby cactus. This is a cactus that's farther away from us. This cactus is closest, a little farther away, really farther away. So things that are close are big, things that are farther away are small. And you can see how I built up my prickly pear by just putting these circles on top of each other, and here's the flowers that turn into the prickly pear fruit. My horizon line has all the lines going on, like the irregularity. No two mountains are alike. You just don't go bunka, 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 bunka. You gotta kind of mix it up a little bit. And look at my clouds. Do you see them? They're all flat on the bottom. And as they get to the bottom here, they start getting smaller and a little closer together. That's a way of showing three-dimensional space. All right, I think that's all I need to point out here. Let's get started on our drawing and our painting, because we draw it first and then we paint it. All right, we're going to start with a horizon line. And remember, mountains are all different. Some are tall, some are like mesa tops, they're all different. And I'm going to put another line down here. So this is flat, and these are the mountains. Okay? Now I'm going to put in my first cactus. And my cactus is going to tower here, but remember, this cactus is not as tall as these mountains. This cactus is just really close to us. So let's put in our Sonora cactus. Like little arms reaching out. And if you wanted to, some of them even have another one that comes out this way. Okay, here's our cactus. And I'm going to put in a prickly pear. See what I did? I just built circles on top of each other. And I'm going to put the circles of prickly pear fruit growing on top. Okay, I'm going to put in my other smaller cactus that are farther away. And my tiny little guy that's really far away. Throw in a couple of rocks. We want to fill up some of this space. Maybe a little bit of grass in there, rock here. Now my clouds. Puffy on the top, flat on the bottom. Puffy at the top, flat on the bottom. Notice how they're closer together and smaller as they get down to the bottom of the paper. And they can come off the top too, you know. Okay, sun, drawing done. Time for oil pastel. I'm going to color some of this in. I'm coloring my clouds in completely with a white oil pastel. I'm going to use more than white, but I'm going in first with the white. I'm going to outline them with some light blue. Okay, now I'm going to go in with some gray. And I'm going to do the underside of my cloud. And because my sun is over here, this side of my cloud is getting a little less light. So I'm going to go under it, and a little bit on that side, go under it. And look, I'm just kind of scribbling in some ways, you know, but I'm building form. The clouds have form. They're three-dimensional. Even though it's water vapor, they still seem three-dimensional. So I'm putting a little bit of gray on the bottom, a little bit of gray over there. Okay, there we go. Now I'm going to color in my cactus. But I'm not going to color the whole thing in because I want to paint some of this too. So first I'm going to outline it. Remember, these are the ridges that expand when the cactus gets some water. And I need my little prickly guys coming off. I'm going to use a different color for my prickly pear. This is a lime green. I can't use one that small. Let's try a bigger one. Okay. This is kind of like a form of texture too. All right, my rocks. I'm going to do my horizon line. Okay. I want there to be a little bit more color in that. So I'm going to add some yellow. Some brown. I'm leaving a little white paper because I am going to paint this, but I want a lot of texture on my mountains. Same with down here. I'll put a little bit of color down here, but not much. A little bit of shadow where my cactus and rocks are. All right, now we're ready for the paint. Remember, when you're setting up your paint, to have I'm left-handed, so my paint is on my left side. If my paint was on the other side, I have to reach all the way across and all the way back over here again. I could be dropping water and color that I don't want all over my painting. So set up your paints on the side that you draw with. All right, now I'm going to do my sky first. I'm using an aqua blue instead of the indigo blue, which is more purple. Plenty of water, mix it up. Wow, look what's happening. I can paint right over my clouds, and the oil pastel is not allowing my paint to stay there. So I can be fast and keep some life in my painting without worrying about painting over my clouds. And one thing that's always good to remember is that the sky is a darker blue the higher up you go, and a lighter blue toward the bottom. So you see how I'm not really getting more paint. I'm just kind of using a little bit of more water toward the bottom, and I've got darker blues going on the top. See, light blue, dark blue. The closer you get to outer space, it's one way of remembering it. The closer you get to outer space, the darker the blue. Ooh, I forgot to get my sun. I'll have to come back and get my sun. Okay. I want that cactus to be a little bit different in color, so I'm grabbing a little bit of this blue to make my green a little bit darker. You see how those two greens are different? Just a little bit of blue makes this green a little bit darker on this cactus. All right, I'm going to go with the yellow. I want it to feel hot. So yellow is going to make my landscape feel warm. Remember, we're in a desert. And I can add a little bit of this orange to it. Ooh, I forgot to paint a couple of those cactus. I got to go back and hit those guys. Alrighty. And the same thing goes for this ground. It's yellow, but I'm adding just a little bit of the orange to it. My rocks I want to be white or gray, so I'm just using a diluted black. There's no gray paint here, is there? Just a diluted black. It's going to get me the color I need. All right, I think we're almost there. I'm just going to hit my sun. A little bit of yellow. La, 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 la. Voila. We're done. Well, that's a quick lesson on how to draw clouds the way they really are most of the time, and cactus. And considering we live in a desert, I think it's wise we learn how to draw cactus. So, remember, your clouds are flat on the bottom, and that's science. And we have two different kinds of cactus you can draw. This one's got fruit. This one expands when it rains out. And this was our horizon line. So remember, you can use your oil pastels with paint and mix your colors of paint and the oil pastel for that matter. Mix all of it. I hope you enjoyed learning how to draw clouds and cactus today. Thanks again for joining us at the Canoga Park Youth Arts Center series, The Art of Nature. We'll see you again.